I'm here right now with Faded of Vitality. Congratulations on that first map. The team is looking good, as usual. Coming up next, though, is Abyss, and DRX have been known to be comfortable in this map. They actually favor it quite a bit, so how are you feeling about it?
Pretty comfortable. I think the boys make good adjustments on our side, so it's going to be a good test of seeing how our Abyss kind of plays out against Pacific. So looking for a good fight.
Well, we're excited to see it. Good luck to you guys.
It is a good day to be a Team Vitality fan. Their win streak continues. I am your host, and I'm back here with Kakuka and Bren. What happened in their second half? What happened?
They took over, man. They absolutely took over. Vitality, though, they look like the real deal, just in terms of just the decision-making on the fly that they made. They're such a good team in terms of just switching it up as well, the conditioning. They slow it down, they speed it up, they get proactive, they're re-clearing. Like, DRX couldn't get comfortable the entire map.
Yeah, exactly. Seeing DRX going on to the aggression. There were some microplays and some adjustments going with the composition that definitely took some effect on Vitality. But as you said, they just walk back, work with the timing, work with the utility. We go back to the drawing board even in game. And it doesn't matter that it's a different composition. They look pretty ready.
I mean, for DRX, it is not for a lack of trying, because as we take a look at the HyperX reflex moment of the day, Hyunmin Kakuka, he's just incredible.
He was onto something. The other day, when he was debuting with this Yoru, the ults were a little bit hit or miss, but this had to be one of the main characters of this bind. His ultimate usage on every single round had so much impact, and this one in particular, where he gets that kill onto Les and then manages to create all this chaos and ends up getting 4 kills in this round. I love how quickly he's mastering the agent and all the cool things that you can do with it.
There's so much micro stuff that he does in this clip as well, where he's inside the smoke and he has to spam down on one player. I mean, there's this reaction here, but just the presence of mind to leave 3 bullets into the clip when he knows that the reclear is happening here. A lot of players are spraying the entire clip there, reloading, having to pull out the secondaries, but he's just so disciplined in the right moments and so smart with the way that he takes those fights that this guy's the truth, genuinely. Like, DRX have found an absolute world-class player, and this is like his first international event. I mean, get the hell out of here when he's performing like that. I know that they ended up losing, but you could just see from an individual basis that Hyunmin was like lights out.
He tried his goddamn best. He tried.
Absolutely.
But also, you mentioned the reclear, so let's take a look at the round 8 and 9, Bren, from Team Vitality. Talk me through this.
Vitality was so damn good at just re-clearing space when these execs were coming in as well. And I mean, this might be a little bit slow going, but when they see this hit coming in from DRX, they get pushed off, they get postured off from this angle, and then they make the call to, oh, well, we've got the snake bite, they're pushed up, we're going to re-clear this space, we're going to make them feel really uncomfortable here. Never really, the first few rounds ended up starting where Vitality were happy to let them in and stall them out of this util, but from past that point, they didn't even take a timeout to make this decision. They started to actively re-clear space as the hits were coming through, which is an insane thing to do, I think. It's a high-level team to be constantly switching up the conditioning on the fly over the course of a half without even taking a pause to even think about it.
And we see, and we have to bring up this head-to-head between Hyunmin and Derke, because even though Vitality was on the winning side, and yes, we talk about the effect that Hyunmin was having, in so many occasions we saw Derke just going in for the kill, and DRX were so ready for taking that duel. Many teams would not have the same idea.
I have never seen anybody diff Derke like that. I have never seen that. You just don't do things like this. This is absolutely crazy. But let's talk about map 2, because Abyss will be next. How well does this bode for DRX?
I think it bodes really well, personally, because Abyss is the map they love to play on the most, to be honest, right now. And coming into this, if they're already hitting like this on a map where, honestly, it's a middle ground for DRX, for Vitality, I think they were very smart in terms of the way that they directed this map veto. Abyss should be favorable home ground for DRX. And especially, man, they just look so damn good. I believe they run the double smoke comp, I believe, with this as well, the Astra and the Omen. I could be wrong. I mean, I might be misremembering, but overall, I mean, it's a map where it is 100% a comfort zone for them. And yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to it.
Well, we've heard from the first Coach Faded. Let's hear what Termi had to say ahead of map 2.
Hey, Mika and Jen here with Termi of DRX. Now, Termi, that was a tough first map. I'm wondering, what was the team struggling with on that map? And there were so many rounds that it just didn't seem like they could convert.
감독님, 유리한 상황에서도 내주는 라운드들도 좀 있었지만 1세트 전반적으로 어떤 점이 가장 힘들었던 걸까요?
아무래도 바이탈리티 선수들이 베테랑 선수들도 많고 경험도 많기 때문에 좀 여유 있게 게임을 했던 것 같고요. 반면에 저희는 아직까지는 그렇게 좀 여유 있는 플레이를 못한 것 같아서 그런 부분들에서 좀 밀려서 패배를 했다 생각하고 이 맵에서는 좀 그런 것들을 좀 우리가 원래 하던 방식대로 하자라는 식으로 좀 얘기를 해놨기 때문에 이 맵에서는 잘해줄 거라고 생각하고 있습니다.
I think it mostly had to do with the mentality. Vitality coming with a lot of players with experience in big stages like this. They were able to play the rounds calm, whereas for some of our players, they were kind of in a haste, not used to playing on this big stage, this big game. So we talked about how to calm our minds down, having that strong mentality in the second map, and I think we're good to go.
Well, thank you very much for your time and good luck on the next map. Fighting.
I mean, that's totally understandable. You're playing up against players like Les, Durka, Safe. You know, they're not going to be nervous whatsoever. But hopefully going on to the next one, Kukuko, they calm their nerves. You know, they're able to bring this to a map 3.
It's absolutely understandable because of so many things that they're changing, and seeing those micro plays, it means that there's a lot of work that has gone into it. But now when you're in the global stage and you are going against a team as strong as Vitality, some things might not go your way, might not go the way that you thought. But as you're saying, Abyss has to be a comfortable ground. I do like the fact, though, that Vitality has decided to start on the attack. They want to start off deciding the tempo and really understanding what DRX wants to do in the defense and just dictating the pace of the map.
Yeah, I think it's a strong choice as well. And I mean, I misspoke earlier, I suppose, with the compositions as well, because it's not the double controller I was thinking of. It's the Sova Tejo that they end up playing as well, which does put the comfort roles for Freeing, because Freeing is one of the best Tejos in the game right now in terms of the way that he plays that, in terms of all of his util. And Abyss is a map where mid-round information is vitally important because the map is like the size of a continent. So your rotations aren't easy unless you're running Yoru, right? And if you can do it with double info initiators, which they run with the Tejo and the Sova, that kind of shores up that gap and allows you to heavy stack players, but it also gives you a ton of retake util as well. I mean, DRX use it to great extents, I think, when you see them trying to either flood defend A, for example. Bane is amazing from Heaven on that angle and the Sova, so it's pretty awesome to see them play this map. They even make me excited to watch Abyss, which is rare.
You don't like it? Do you know what I love about Team Vitality's Abyss? It's either they go overtime or they 13-1. Yeah. There is no in between right now. But as we take a look at the agent select, Hyomin is a Yoru main now.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, are we going to expect this to extend to every single map? Because so far, he has only played the Yoru time and time again.
Dude.
Mako just moving away from the Astra, just going onto the Omen.
I'm so excited for this because Mako's moved off the Astra onto the Omen. The way he's been playing this recently to set up Hyunmin is by double TPing in. And Mako's the one taking contact to create space for Hyunmin to be the playmaker, which is a totally wild and different way of playing this comp.
Yeah, exactly. And Vitality not having a Sentinel, I want to see how they do on the defense and dealing with mid. On the side of DRX, they have that double drone, a lot of information, but I am going to be missing that extra stun coming in from Breach that could come in clutch.
And of course, Durka, he is ever so closely edging towards that 2,000 global kill record. Ender and Mimi, let's see if he can break it here.
He has a chance to, but on the other side, Hyunmin back on the Yoru. 4 out of 4 maps. DRX changing their comp, but this one, Christy, is comfort territory for them.
Absolutely, and honestly, I think having Mako go to the Omen, you heard Bren talking about those teleport entries, how he can support the side as well. I think also having the paranoia to help out this Yoru player, right? Hyunmin had so much support coming in from the breach of Bane in the last map. Now he's a little bit more on his own, but has to be the difference maker if we want to map 3.
Vitality 1 map away from being the first team in playoffs. And they're starting things off here. No surprises in execute. Into B as Hyunmin dips away.
Ooh, DRX, that TP out, gonna choose to play full retake. They do go for an early drone, though, so chances to get out of the smoke early, but there's a star waiting right on that exit pathway. Hyunmin doesn't care. He's just gonna get that kill, pop out the flash to make sure they can't get punished for the stun.
The rest of Vitality trying to find a duel, and Durka does well to start things off. But the flash not there in time, and DRX just floods in. Only 2 players left alive, but Trex takes 1 before falling, unless he's a world away. Has to use the pull right now, but they already got it halfway, and surely that stick is forthcoming. Bane's holding it unless he's just not fast enough.
It's actually so unfortunate for Les there. He thought he had so much time to go for that late wrap because DRX had abandoned the site, but DRX's decision to actually fast flood in instead, get Hyunmin going here, and then have that pinch going 2 players into the front of the site, 2 players going into the backside up from Heaven. Even though Durka managed to get 2 kills somehow, DRX players just kept on coming through.
Feels like a rare moment where Vitality's team fighting wasn't quite up to snuff, all getting kind of isolated towards the back of site, towards the ledge there. But a critical pistol round for DRX.
It's another Outlaw purchase for Durka on round 2. He loves this thing. And this time, 4 light armors from DRX. This is something teams are going to have to start prepping up against Vitality because he's proven consistently he's going to go for it.
Brings drone, spots a couple for
Got the
B,
jump
and
peek.
a jump spot. Oh, it's brutal. So the second round 2 in a row now, where Durka's gotten an opener with the Outlaw, and Vitality get a chance to play the 5v4.
And now Vitality calling a great round, moving over to this A site. I thought for a second Bane was going to over-rotate out of there because his drone saw nothing in A main. Vitality, just like on Bind, love to exec into the Sentinel. They know DRX plays strong fundamental Valorant, so there's no one ever fighting up in front of the Cypher util.
And they have both the Teo and the Sova to deal with those trips. Flashback. Doesn't really catch anything, and no one breaks his start. The flood in from Bane. Durka's below him in the whip from Flashback. He falls too, and Mako yet again has to try and save the day. But the odds are overwhelming. Over the top comes the Sova. He needs to find the shot.
Not like
and he
this,
just
man!
doesn't.
Not like that! Kicks is just jumping around, having a time with it.
Oh, it's heartbreaking.
I feel like I'm watching Bind all over again, you know, not just the Outlaw purchase, but then execing into the Cypher, then fighting up on top of a side. It looks like Tube on B site Bind. How Vitality took those fights once again. That is just silly.
And I think that round will be the lesson for the rest of the teams here at Masters Bangkok. You gotta buy full armor. Our reaction as well.
Love how much fun they have with it.
Really looking to be super friends, as Durka said.
Yeah. Very cute, too.
The other big narrative to look at this game, of course.
Those are all the important things.
DRX gonna go for a walk over towards A, but Vitality with a player to contain and ready to just react into the B site here.
Oh, Safe might get caught on a bad timing. Oh, no way he jumps out.
But that means they get to keep walking and might have a pretty strong timing here.
Yeah, but at some point, Vitality are going to realize what's going on. Even if they don't expect 4, they're going to know that DRX are trying something. Unless they manage to find the perfect timing past Safe here.
Safe thinks they're walking mid. Surely he turns and checks.
Yeah, and Les is down underneath Heaven.
He's
now
not
he
turning.
realizes, okay.
1 for 1. Les isolated. And not looking down at Bane. That's another gun to fall, but Bane, even with that rifle, this should be too much. A 1v2. A high-low from Vitality. Dart, the jump, and Durka's too good.
Yeah, even losing the rifles there, it's not too much of a problem for Vitality. They won round 2. They're going to be set for the foreseeable future. Next thing really on my mind is how the ultimates are going to play out, but really I'm kind of impressed with how Vitality have consistently found these opening picks off the jump peaks, right? We saw it from bot mid that round. Previous round, it was Durka getting the jump peek from on top of Library.
Okay, it's okay.
What is he?
I don't know what he is. He's safe.
That's true. All right. More of a basic round here for Vitality. Take early control into A main.
Yeah, it's nice to see Vitality still using the util to clear A main, even though really DRX haven't done anything here apart from the last round.
And it's a round 4 attacking op for Durka.
Oh my gosh.
You look at this guy, he's become known for the Yoru. But Abyss is the map to lock the jet, abuse the op.
I love just kind of leaving him here in main as well. Now he shows the operator, so less value perhaps.
Here.
But all things considered, Vitality are probably going to look to reset back into some kind of a split here. A or B, it's hard to say. They still got that star in top mid they can tag into. Just barely missing the timing on that one, but I think the ping has come in, so Durka is now going to be the one to hunt for top mid. Oh my god! Wait, Freeing just decided to start fighting. No more jump peeking. He's taking heads.
2 clean 1 taps from Freeing. Kick's gonna make his own attempt to hold down towards mid. and he's got the off in hand.
Okay.
Finally deals with the Teo.
And that means he's got Rolling Thunder online as well, so the call comes in from Vitality. It's going to be a B finish right now. Mako only the only defender from DRX.
But I imagine the goal is to try and save it for the post plant. You don't want to have to use everything on this exec, and the site is weak. Mako makes his way back in, and Safe's not ready for it. Double swing, though. This should put an end to Mako, and it does. So plant will come down, and the Rolling Thunder still online.
Yeah, it's going to be a fight back up into spawn here. Ultimate comes out, doesn't find
He's too far
Trex.
away.
So plant comes down, now all of a sudden back in spawn. No! Kicks gets sniped out!
And that's the Brim ult. Gone. Trex in a 1v3 now. But no smokes for DRX. Flashback, jumps up, Trex, good spray control, and another!
They're going
onto
one by
Hyunmin.
one!
Only Bane left alive. And Trex is going for a walk. Bane is sticking! Bane is sticking!
Nah, that is just too cold, man! His team is just getting murdered like Trex is killing absolutely everyone.
Perfect 1v3.
Yeah.
Go one by one, lose 2 players, full stick.
Yeah, what a clutch.
Okay.
Getting the job done. I mean, first of all, shout out Free, because what are those shots at the start of the round? Yet somehow, Vitality still had a chance there for a moment.
I don't know how Gix ended up being the one to die from the ult as well.
I'm going to be honest, Bind was a muddy game. This is also getting a little bit muddy.
Vitality have found the weak side, though. They're going for another hit towards B, this time right off the rip.
Quick teleports over, though. DRX are ready to flood on in. Paranoia not connecting onto anyone. Durka snuck his way all the way into backside with Hyunmin up from above. He's ready to pop on out of that. Ultimate taken down by Durka. And with mid falling as well, DRX are in a whole heaping amount of trouble. Vitality are on a warpath. And this B site is falling apart, fleeing just up in heaven with a stinger, but not gonna happen. Durka finds 3 and Vitality get their third 2.
The way Vitality navigates that flood retake is impeccable. Durka hitting the impossible shot onto the Yoru coming out of vault, and then making the decision to get ahead of the utility, fighting towards spawn. DRX players just weren't fully ready for that much of a brawl out of Vitality.
Look at that POV there. I think Dirk saw Hyunmin on minimap, thought he was right behind him.
Look at that, they haven't even planted yet. They don't greed for it at all. They full stop, commit to fighting together, and win it out. And that's what's been winning this series for Vitality.
Those forward fights over towards B looking good already for Vitality. Now, though, an absolute full save from DRX.
They're going back to it. Durka, not an updraft away from the util. Sees the shoulder of Hyunmin. And Trex will be the one to convert the kill. DRX had a bit of a stack on this round, but Vitality still get out and start to clean up these kills.
Vitality choosing just to walk back into the site. Drone's going to end up seeing them. The second DRX start checking their backs for a lurk or for the rotate over into the A site, that's when Vitality find their timing. Durka once again up close in their face. Gets the first, the second. And it's just a little bit too much for DRX against his rifle. Except when he's looking the other way. That tends to help.
That one's a little more difficult, though. 4-2, though. Vitality convert the anti-eco, and it seems like they've found the sauce on this one.
I'll tell you what, though.
Executes, freeze, refight against the flood.
I do love watching Trex play, because even on these supportive roles, he's just fragging like crazy. Again, their series versus T1 on Bind, he was popping up. The last time they played Abyss, too, his Sova was just absolutely crazy.
That's part of what was so impressive about the Vitality run back in EMEA. Everyone was excited for Les, for Durka, for these guys for the first time on a different team than the org that they were an icon of. But then you have the players who were already on Vitality, and they really stepped up. Kicks especially in EMEA was just incredible for this team.
And I just feel like these players take such intelligent fights. Like, you don't see a lot of times like a Trex or a Kicks like overextending, overfighting on their own. Like, Trex only died 2 times in this map so far. Like, every fight he takes is just going to be a good one. He's always coming out on top of that, but we're going to reset into this timeout, right? DRX called their third. I don't think VIT's called a timeout this series.
No, it's been all DRX all day.
It's just a bit problematic, but really this is going to be a monstrous swing round, right? Like DRX buying down to nothing. We've got 7 ults online for the two teams.
Yeah, might be a bit of chaos in this round yet again. The issue for DRX is they don't have the same amount of power ults that Vitality does. You don't have that breach ult, you don't have the stun to combo with the Teo ult either. It's a bit tougher.
What they do have is very fast rotate, because with the Omen ult and the Yoru teleports, what they can do is fight up into A main for the first time really, except on the eco, and still quickly reinforce flashback on the B site.
Anti-Durka trip goes up top.
A little bit nerdy.
Yeah, I think he just wants the kill on the dashing jet and then wants to get out. There's Durka straight into the trap, but he's not ready to follow it. Oh, he got it! Just in the nick of time, Flashback gets his kill. And the ultimate, finds a tag as well, a kill onto freeing. That's an astounding ult from Trex.
And now, the big power ult for DRX is no longer in the game. No chance on that retake. Check out Kick's position, right up flush on the wall.
Aftershock nullifies the first wave of the retake, but the drone tag is good. Flashback hasn't seen an enemy yet, but he's good for 2. Safe doesn't have his gun out, and Trex is dead as well. Flashback single-handedly holds on to B. Unless we'll be overwhelmed. What a round from Flashback.
Flashback's crisp with it. That reset on the 4th kill was real nice. And it started off, he was making this mad dash towards heaven because he wasn't in position to play off the trip.
He hears the jet updrafting, just full sprinting.
But the fact that he gets 2 kills off those trips as the flood comes in, then he's the only one going heaven. It's not a double swing or anything like that. He's just in a position where he needs those kills. Getting to them is massive because, you know, we heard Coach Termy talking in between, you know, maps 1 and 2, saying some of the players on DRX just didn't feel super confident in the fights they were taking. For a rookie, especially having a round like that, get your mojo back is huge.
It's a really clear play from DRX. A TP up for Mako. I think a dart to follow that up, but no one got caught in the fly trap.
Now, once again, Vitality, you see these early round aggro and reset away from that. This time making sure that Safe's going to hang out, make sure no one walks up on him. He's got the drone, too, if they wanted to work a late split into the 8 side through vents.
Freeing. Dangerous game running past Durka there. Holding out the ult in case there's a possibility of a fight back into A main with the paranoia lined up.
Flashback's got to be great again. Vitality just want to bully this kid.
This is how it ends.
That's an ult in A main. That no one is there to receive it, and instead it's Flashback under pressure.
You're on your own.
Ayo's not here, so nothing to flush him out of his position. Trex taking down the spike on the floor, and Durka over top. Flashback, a chance to isolate another duel as he dips back and joins with the rest of his team.
Reinforcements arrive for DRX. Bane gets the spam shot, and here they are, right up in front of the Cosmic Divide. DRX on the prowl. Yunmin taken down by Durka. And without their duelist, the support staff has to step up in a big way. Flashback's been good, but Durka is just better.
He wants his record this game. 4 kills from Durka. A round that didn't look all that good for Vitality. Again, DRX starting off with an opener. Get their player out on site. But it's all Durka all day.
It's tough, too, because if Flashback keeps playing like this, he could completely disrupt the Vitality game plan of just execing into his site. And unfortunately, was only able to get that first one, fell back for the retake, and Durka's not going to let you retake into him, no sir.
No, he will not.
It's 14-5 right now.
Kind of ridiculous.
Drone going out.
Safe drones in towards A. This time, not as big of a trap like, and Durka's just running past one ways. Okay, this guy doesn't give a damn. Playing within the missiles, eventually gets caught off, and Bane has a gun from that. An isolated fight onto Kix, but Kix won't let him get away with it. Another challenger. The gun picked up into the hands of Freeing, and he's better at the task. Finds a kill, and more from Freeing as well. In just a half second, they win that eco.
Yeah, DRX keep finding some of these ecos across the 2 maps. Feels like they shouldn't really have a chance, but you're right. Freeing getting the rifle in hand. Hyunmin on the Hero Guardian gets his before he falls too. A Master card thrifty. And yeah, that drop from Freeing. If he doesn't seize that timing, DRX don't have a chance for this round.
Great movement on the last kill from Freeing as well.
Durka back with an attack op. Has the knives to dip into if he needs. This time, Hyunmin stepped down into mid. Could be a big fight coming up soon. But no one's really going to be on those angles that Durka wants to take right now.
Hyunmin had to take his TP out as well.
Yeah, down to 48 HP. Now a drone to re-clear into A main. It's been fairly light for DRX on this side of the map. Could actually see DRX reset into more aggressive A main space. I like the walk up.
Mako. Considered taking a timing there. He backs away and refreshes the one-way instead. Is that re-clear? It's very well timed. Spots no one towards B and that pulse rotates.
Exactly. Now Hyunmin can get over into the site. You realize Vitality, they heard that drone going through. Les calls out, says you can't exec into A right now. They're going to be stacking that. Come back into B. And it's once again all eyes on Flashback. Back site.
Get out of my way!
Rotates are going to be a bit late.
Low time. And hold on, Hyunmin gets the kill in mid. That means no lurk.
Flashback, darted out. Durka up in the air. Down goes the Cypher. And Durka trying to navigate around this utility. Hyunmin flashes in, the op shot goes wide, but Vitality still waiting to fight. Low time, they don't care. They're still gonna brawl and come out ahead in doing so. Mako! How did he find that? 3 kills out of nowhere. And Trex, with only 7 seconds left, has to make a run
There's
for
no
the
time.
spike, and he's just not there.
DRX's leader is the hero. A 3K out of nowhere. Playing the clock, I mean, Vitality called it down to the wire, and we're in a position to win. After Durka found this kill, but I want to see how Mako did this. Kind of absurd what he managed to pull off. So the first kill was player not really looking at him. Then he steps up for the pop. Oh, he just got 3 kills, no one's looking at him!
Just takes the perfect timing. It's been a long time since Mako was that guy. A rookie player back with Vision Strikers. Now he's a veteran on this stage. Now he's the IGL for this team. But he still has rounds like that when they need him.
All right, Faded with the first time out. Comes in, says, hey, let's look at Mako.
You think that's what he's saying?
I think he might be saying a little bit more than that. Honestly, I do feel like Vitality's mid-rounding has been a little bit readable, and it hasn't been super exploited just yet by DRX, but you're starting to see there's usually more support staff helping out Flashback. Last round it was Freeing over towards that side of the map. I think Vitality could maybe even challenge into the mid space a little bit more, pushing up into that just a tad. A lot of jump peeking from DRX's side, but it's been a little bit soft there, I would say.
Yeah, a lot of times with these tail comps, you can threaten using the missiles to break the doors, kind of pressuring a split into A, pressuring a lurk up there in the mid-round. But the other strength of their comp is, hey guys, remember we have triple initiator. We can just kind of send it on executes, and I think that might be what Faded was going for here.
The hard thing is A is basically always stacked early on from DRX, so Vitality haven't really sped up after taking A main control. This could be the time though.
Main ready with the dart. I think a Paranoia primed on the re-clear too. Combo with the Yoru flash. And again, Mako doesn't catch any fish through the smoke.
Yeah, nothing really there for them. Just an orb secured by kicks.
A lot of damage onto safe as well. They did break those doors in mid.
Yeah,
Spots had at least one there.
DRX may be reading that it could just be a double ult farm from kicks after this early round. So I think now would be the time to actually step up into the mid space. Again, we've seen Vitality go for this re-clear where they've taken these angles, but then almost always moved back into B or A. I want to see what a walk down looks like.
Drone is down.
Instead, they might just go back into A.
But I like this, going into A instead of B, because you can see DRX, they're again being told that it's always these late rounds into the Cypher. And now Trex is taking this space up into mid. I love this. He can choose to go for a quick split into A or just catch the rotates out from the off angle.
Rex chooses to charge forward as the execute comes through. Mako and Bane, a great dart, unbroken. No one was out on site with Durka, and the spike is still in Bane, 20 seconds. Vitality, they're running on fumes at this point, and Bane in the perfect position needs to go massive, but he can't. Les steps up to the plate and allows his team a plant. Through heaven comes DRX. Drex! He's in the air!
Drex is crazy, man! Jumping up there. Maybe even just winning the round for his team with that play.
I mean, that was a Tony Hawk Pro Skater trick, diving through the air, and that just wins the round for Vitality. Okay.
They're just out. And honestly, like, that kill secured the round for Vitality, but I think just his decision to go for the mid lurk and be in that space stopped DRX's reinforcements from coming in. Because Hyunmin had the Yoru ultimate coming up through vents, and then instead of jumping down at a site, he sees this Sova in the smoke, tries to fight it. You've got your site player turning around trying to fight up into it. It was just that one player identifying that mid was opening up in the mid rounds and punishing.
Also punishing the tendency of DRX to lean late into these B site hits. Vitality has conditioned that basically every round, but this still could have gone very wrong.
Sure.
Right? They were down to 10 seconds. There were still 2 anchors from DRX, but it was the individual play from Les that bailed them out of that one to start.
I've got to credit Faded in that timeout. I think that was the exact right. Those 2 slight variations chewed up DRX. Now they're going to open a round very similarly, all into the A site, although this time I think it could actually just be the full-on exec. That would be, again, just that slight pivot, 2 rounds of structure, catch DRX off guard.
And look, DRX have sent troops into mid.
And they're saving their utility, just the drone here, so they can speed up into the site exec.
Missiles, Durka dashes over the top, and the anchor of Mako, he's good for it. Bane again tries to get out onto this site, but the ult will push him back. Mako still standing strong. 3 kills for him. It's all Mako.
All right, it's just the Mako show.
Switching sides.
These last rounds they're winning, he's just putting up numbers.
An absolute beast on the anchor. And DRX, from what was a tough start, have tied this game up 6-6.
Red Bull gives you wings. Frequencies are meant to be UV. Ultraviolet try to see through me. I care when you don't see. I care when you don't see. Take care when you don't see too.
DRX recovered to a 6-6 half, but now on the attacking side of one of their strongest maps, and this is where I think Hyunmin has a chance to turn things around. This is a playground for Yoru on attack.
100%. He was super effective on their attack side of Bind as well. Very slow start, so far only 4 kills to his name, but this is where I want to see Hyunmin and Mako do some nasty things on the execs, right? We saw them on Lotus, right? Mako doing those entry TPs.
Yeah, the
he
double
was crazy.
TPs, he was so good for it, right? Putting down his own smoke, swinging through the same time as the Yoru. And this is something that Vitality can't have really prepped for, because it's another new comp from DRX.
Exactly, and DRX have clearly done their homework. I think when they've been losing rounds, it's been a lot to do with just the sort of overwhelmed fighting 5-on-5. But whenever it's DRX running a set play off of ultimates or, you know, supportive utility going there with Hyunmin, that's where they've been very effective, and that's where they need to be on point in the second half.
So a slow way to start this one off.
Just early cage, camera in mid. A lot of times you'll see Cyphers just play this space to break down that vent. Yeah, flashback spams for that, busts it down. Threatens a quicker A split eventually. Interesting to see DRX play such a slow round though. On Bind, it was all just these 5 hits over and over and over again. Abyss a map that favors that.
It didn't feel like they were ever really going for slower rounds on Bind.
Yeah. Maybe even trying to sell some kind of a fake. There are 3 players from Vitality on B holding fairly aggressive lines, so Vitality not so fooled right now, still holding their ground.
Less with that top side angle that's become very popular for controller players.
Recon just came back up. DRX ready to go.
Drone does not get the suppression onto Les. So he'll smoke up and both players will have to fight forward because of the missiles, but Durka dashes out. Les, though, is taken down, and that's a great start to this half for Hyunmin. Durka around his teammate's spot, trying to find something here as DRX starting to lose out on the time. Safe! So good from him to take down both of the players. That's DRX's foothold on the site gone. And only 17 seconds. Bane has to try and shuffle out, but there's 3 players holding. And Vitality shut them out.
That's a good way to start off the second half too for Safe. He'd been having a real tough one in that first half. Get some confidence there, get that ult charged up as well. Not too bad. This early play on the dive again was nice. You know, sort of using that smoke to pop on out. There was a paranoia that went into the right side of sight, so Durka couldn't actually catch him. Or stall out on those players. But really, it was just Safe getting out into backside, doing his job.
Someone thought they were going to buy Durka the outlaw. Instead, he decides to go for it himself. One of the biggest things to look out for Vitality's second half is Durka getting an operator online.
Oh, you think Durka doesn't pull himself up by his own bootstraps?
Very individualistic. No need for handouts from his teammates on this half, at least.
All right. Flash comes in, and hold on, the classics are doing way too much. Now, Trex is still an issue up in top side, but that's just a ghost in hand. Durka's got an outlaw. Safe's got to be really effective here with the rifle.
Drone into the site. From both teams, in fact, saying hi to each other from sight. The missiles are going to be huge, though. Dash is going to swing off of them, but the outlaw, second shot, finds its mark out. He's still alive. Durka for 2, Safe eventually wrangles the Vandal, but there's missiles on freeing. And time is starting to become a factor. But Durka holding strong with the outlaw. One shot goes wide, but he won't miss twice.
DRX making things a little scary there. The 2 opening classic kills are wild. But Durka is just kind of fearless on this exec. I mean, I don't know many Jets that are going to be just dashing forward with the outlaw in hand, then switching over to the classic and getting the kill.
No scope.
Yeah, let's
outlaw shots. Okay.
I guess the no scope is the one that missed, and then he was like, okay, I guess I'll go in. Can't go for the montage. It's kind of been a montage map for him, up to 19 kills.
Weapons up, comms open.
2 players on regen shields for DRX. Those make some good victims. 4 safes now outlaw as the Vandal's been passed over to Durka.
Hard to get these fast execs into the B site though, because Kix always has the stun ready. DRX this time bait that out, now into back
Les
site.
is still top site. Is anyone looking at him? Hyunmin, just in the nick of time, takes a peek above him and deals with the Brazilian as Hyunmin himself just going to take this site basically alone. Durka on the timing to fight in, and he dips into his own clone, loses sight.
Trying to use the clone as a shield is crazy. But DRX still having position in backside and B main. Vitality have a lot to do. Dash up on top side. Durka might actually have it in him. I mean, he's just dancing around him right now, freeing, holding his ground, but as the classic comes out, Durka gets a 3rd. Vitality on pace to potentially steal this round away. Durka on 4. Durka holding up to half. Flashback comes into him, and Durka sits him down. It's the ace for Vitality's duelist.
His first global event off Fnatic. trying to make a name for himself on a new roster. And on the verge of breaking records doing it. All 5 kills in this round. I mean, the positioning, the way he isolated these fights, saving bullets in the Vandal there.
2 bullets to get that kill, then he gets into the knives. I mean, his pathing's just crazy.
It's just cinema. And that's a bonus round 1 for Vitality.
It is peak Durka. DRX into a half by now.
Who's next?
I don't know if that's gonna be enough to shut him down. He's peeking up in A main.
Again. Oh, okay, spamming through. No one has traded him out, but Hyunmin from behind with a stinger puts an end to Vitality's hold of main.
These ecos! DRX keep on doing it. Question is, does Hyunmin want to keep fighting into backside? Trex not ready for him. Turns around and Hyunmin makes it happen. These rounds just don't make sense to
You
me.
get aced and you immediately turn around and win a half by. Outrageous stuff from DRX.
Just mental.
Hyunmin went into this half with 4 kills. He's already up at 11, despite losing the first 3. This rookie player has done so much for Pacific's #1.
You've got to respect popping the ult there too from Hyunmin. Getting that flank, there's so much audio going down. I don't think Vitality knew it was about to hit him. And now it's Vitality, just a hero rifle on Durka. Looking for this fight again. He's not going to back away from it. No fear in his eyes.
But he's pushed back. And DRX now posturing for a re-clear A main.
Importantly, Durka was actually dropped that Vandal. He's going to have enough money to op in the next round.
Dart to re-clear bottom mid, but it doesn't catch on to flashback. Durka's out in the open here.
This drone's going to hear everything. DRX have to choose to snap into this exec now.
Durka's just full walking this flank. His team won't be able to hold long though. Only some sheriffs to lock down this site. Safe has an isolated position. He dives into this smoke. Gets ahead of the entries from DRX, and now things get a bit awkward. Safe can't do anything though. But the flank is finally
Durka jumped the
activated.
trip. He used the updraft to get over the tripwire. And now with his hero rifle, could he do it?
Flashback out in the open. Durka wins that duel.
Spike planted.
Last only has a classic, it doesn't matter. Gets a kill there. And with just a hero rifle to start, Durka has a chance to win this round for Vitality. Smokes up. No tap on the spike just yet. The missiles go in early. It all comes back to Durka. He has to defend his teammate. But Mako sprays him down, and through the smoke, Mako claims them both.
Mako will go quiet for a second, but when he shows up, he is winning rounds for his team. Again, these rounds getting so chaotic. DRX trying to fight into back spawn off of the Hunter's Fury coming on down. But it's hard too, because you have to reset yourself after a round like this. Super chaotic, super tense moments. And now it's the buy round. Durka choosing to go for the Vandal, not the up.
But again, being a menace in A main. An alt purchase on the other side, in fact. Hyunmin picking up the sniper on the Yoru.
Is darted out though. I don't have seen the op. Durka has been able to creep into A main, although DRX actually ended up pinging him. I think Flashback is ready to take this fight. Durka against Flashback, stun comes in, but he's gonna dip away. DRX are moving to the B site.
But it's less here. Hyunmin off, it's perfect. Lovely opener. An alt sent in, and Vitality shoot away from B.
Safe trying to get into the site though. Mako teleported up on top. North Heaven Hell chooses to back away. DRX are gonna play the post off site.
Safe has his ultimate. So DRX risking it if they stick around.
Yeah, they're just gonna sacrifice freeing back site.
But Hyunmin's off. Ever present, holding from heaven. Time getting low, and Vitality with the stun online, they'll go in. Durka starts things strong on this retake. His 2,000th global kill, but now a chance to win the round. He dives forward, Mako again, the one to shut it down. Kicks will run for the hills, and DRX will tie this game.
That was a calm round there from DRX. Hyunmin's opener with the op purchase. Ends up being exactly the right call for them. Put that in their hands, and you've got to shout out Durka for reaching 2,000 kills. This is the shot right here. Obviously, it's DRX that win the round, but an impressive achievement and the first player to ever reach that marker.
Truly one of those players in contention for that GOAT status, now doing it with another team. But we're gonna have to see even more from him for Vitality to close this map out, because they've lost the last 3 in the row, and now it's gonna be a timeout for the second time.
Ever since they got eco'd on round 16, right? It was just wild. It ends up going down that way. And I think, well, what have we really seen from DRX? We've seen DRX find a few opening fights that go their way. The messiness of the post plants, right? Where DRX are fighting forward very consistently into Vitality's face and sort of flustering them in those fights. A lot of those have been going Vitality's way all day, but it's kind of changed in the last couple of rounds.
In Vitality's game against T1, especially on Fracture, very often they would leave Durka alone to control a main all by himself, and T1 really struggled to push him out of those positions. I think DRX have done a much better job of making concerted effort to re-clear space in A main, not let Durka just go for those confidence plays quite as often, and then play into these post plans later on.
Yeah, you're right. Even when it's like the half buy from Vitality, Durka's on a hero rifle, it hasn't felt like he's had the fights actually coming his way with his mid walks. The last round when he's in A main, couldn't really get that fight going for him there either.
And obviously he still has almost double the kills of
That's very true.
The highest kill player on DRX, but DRX is winning these rounds off of team play.
Interesting round from Vitality. So the hero rifle is on Kix. Durka's got the knives. Kix actually bought down to nothing.
DRX are heading towards the stack here. Safe is a scrumptious piece of bait in main. Just a ghost to work with. He'll bide all the attention.
He's trying to ping for the op shots through the smoke.
That's ridiculous. Okay. Hyunmin stunned up, but flashback finds Durka. That's one of the 2 hero weapons gone.
Safe tries to take his time, but yeah, you're just gonna get spammed away. I love the choice to toss the op over to flashback when Hyunmin's gonna enter with the ulti.
Very disciplined from DRX. They don't rush into this round. They're now in a 3v5 and can recompose before committing.
One suppressed.
Kicks! Okay. He found 2, and this makes things somewhat doable. It's only Sheriffs on the remaining players, but Trex already had 1 kill. Drone up onto Bane.
He's gonna use the ult.
Ulting? Okay, he's getting pushed. Surely Bane is just gonna deal with this. Les silently drops, but Bane jump peeks and baits him out, but in the open! And now it's a 1v1. The former champion has got a rifle, and it's a 1v1 against the rookie. He's sticking halfway. Missiles coming in, but Les achieves his goal. Stun off the next tap. Les backs out of the smoke, wins the round. He's always been good for it.
That was just perfect from Les. The Red Bull clutch. And we'll watch it again because everything went DRX's way. But all of a sudden, you have these couple of kills come down when Trex jumps down onto the bottom of a rope. Then you've got the Sheriff in Les's hand. He actually used his Astropole to try and set up for the Sova ult coming down through all of that madness, then secures the 2 kills to consume the round.
And Les just plays that so perfectly. Just sidesteps the stun, gets the 1 tap. And that's the momentum for DRX broken.
Vitality have a stun here ready from Kix. Ready to fight if DRX was gonna enter on in. Could even use the Rolling Thunder. Hold that thought, Durka still fighting on sight, pushing forward right up on top of Hyunmin. Ring will trade him out with the ultimate coming back on in. Look, DRX are getting wild with it!
How's he done that? Diving out from heaven! And Mako gets away with his life as well.
I thought it was the ult, but it was a double TP!
Yup. He's been a monster on the Omen. these last few maps, and they'll leave him alone on site.
Right here.
A sacrifice, but still a challenge for Vitality to get past him.
Standing.
Missiles available, but it's a 1v4, an IGL versus IGL. Mako just ready on the swing.
I swear, every round DRX are winning, it's a Mako 3K. This guy just chooses which rounds he wants to win. I want to see his entry path here. Jumps into the first smoke, then goes back into the corner. No one's ready for it. Kick's got his ultimate out. Trying to cast abilities, then after dropping, he gets that kill. It's just ridiculous.
And I love the way he's varying the entry pathing. He's smoked there almost every round, but that's the first time he's done that TP into heaven. Other rounds he's TPing backside. He's so good at varying the positioning on these execs.
Hold on, Durka, Guardian in hand. Looking for the push down. Vitality have another bad buy, but as Durka gets spotted out, he's got to walk on back here.
So yet again, DRX do a good job at pushing Durka away from his early aggression.
I love the purchase here too. The Outlaw in the hands of Flashback. Just to lock down mid control. DRX are going to reset back into a B hit. Mako will eventually have to go and grab a spike on the way back over. Got a habit of leaving it back there.
And there's that Outlaw ringing out in mid for Flashback. Les, the man with the Hero Vandal this time.
I mean, look, this is still the stack from Vitality. There's still a Rolling Thunder. There's still a stun. It's hard to break into this site. There's not so much time left to play with.
Go ahead.
There's the ult though. Les inside of his smoke. Can they get him out of it? Freeing runs in. 1 for 1. That's a great trade for DRX. But Kicks, with only a Sheriff, doubles up in this round.
Durka has made his way into sight.
Spike planted.
Value up there before, but this time DRX not giving him the angles. They're dipping back off the site, gonna play fully off.
And the Outlaw again. Flashback takes down one and safe. He's had a rough map thus far. Trying to win the clutch for his team alone. He has missiles. Both players for DRX co-located. A swing ready through the smoke, but it's a crossfire. And DRX pull ahead.
DRX are just clawing this one back. Flashback started to find his mark on these mid fights. Whether it's the Outlaw or the Op a couple rounds back. I like the way they're not over-committing to these fights on site. DRX have really started dipping back into these off-site post plants. Just sort of abusing the gun advantage where they have it. Not letting themselves get bullied off the site by Vitality's util.
All missiles away.
So a new look for DRX. Heavy pressure in towards mid. This is going to draw a lot of players off of sites.
I really like this, because Vitality, you know, they've got a lot of active util with the drones to re-clear, but you don't have a Cypher or Vise, anything like this. Mid, if DRX show early presence, you've got to pull players over.
Drone is down.
And we'll find some info on the re-clear towards A.
I like this
Spying out
too,
one.
because Mako has ult, so he could sort of find a pick over here, still teleport back into an A exec, and even leave Flashback as a second lurker.
Safe on the jiggle. Durka holding the angle, perfectly timed swing. That gets the opener, but DRX are just going to want to exec into A as a reaction, and Safe is here alone.
Problem is Vitality are moving quickly, and DRX haven't snapped the hit just yet.
He's going to have support by the time they enter into this site, but he's spotted out in the corner. Teo missiles in, but there's a stun that's arrived from Kicks, and DRX are still not out. 30 seconds, ult coming in. Vitality trying to hold strong, but the ult is perfect. Takes down Safe. Mako TPing ahead, but Trex on an off angle. 4-1, another for this man. They're smoked off in main. It's only 15 seconds, and DRX, I think they're forced to save.
They just can't get out of main. Mako tried to be the hero teleporting into sight, but this time Vitality were waiting for it. His trickery wasn't going to work again.
And DRX did a lot right that round. The pressure into mid. They lose a player over on B, sure, but they still give time before reacting to let Vitality full rotate on their defense. They re-cleared mid early, then they're allowed to full rotate back in towards the A
Off of
site.
that pick,
and
yeah.
then by the time DRX are execing, they've completely lost their timing.
Yeah, it looked like the smoke Mako was trying to TP out of went down at the same time he was casting it. Tough news.
And the site anchors from Team Vitality, Trex especially, have done such a good job at finding the gaps in the utility, getting ahead of these smokes. Because the way that DRX enters these sites, with the Yoru, with the Omen, they're all TPing deep and generally fighting backside, stopping a flood. If you're ahead, you can eat away at those 3 support players who have just thrown their util running into the smokes.
Yeah, exactly, right? And if those entry agents ever end up dying, it's really hard for them to continually get out. Vitality's done a great job of sort of locking down mains with Breach Blast, stuns, Astra pulls, etc. They can keep on cycling those through. So that'll be DRX on the timeout. I'm looking at their money right now, and you'll be happy to know if you're a DRX fan, it does look like they have enough money to go for an operator. Hard to see if they're going to commit to that. They've been sort of back and forth on that for a moment, whether or not they wanted Flashback to have that. But honestly, I would expect, in a similar way towards the close of last half, when Vitality started, actively looking for that lurk with Trex, I'd really like to see DRX try to blow up the center of the map in these mid-rounds too.
They made the attempt of it last round, but I think you actually have to convert, send a lurk, send a real threat that isn't just going to get instantly re-cleared.
Vitality might want to take the fight to DRX. Yeah, maybe an updraft path into window. Keep your eyes on Durka here.
Kicks with a stun. They'll contact down to start. Mako. Is he just going to TP ahead of this one? It's going to get very awkward. Quickly for Durka. There's a stun! Durka for 2, but Mako! Again the savior for DRX.
Mako's kept it alive now. And they're going to call to pause things. Just 1:20 left on the clock. They've got plenty of time. Now walking to side, but Kix is waiting.
They contact in. Kicks. Backs out of the smoke.
Oh, perfect timing taken to back out of that one. To play with the team. Now, DRX can't play offside in the post. They've got to fight forward.
Mako up top. Again on this angle. There's the initiator utility coming into this site, but there's no follow-up.
Yeah, Les is trying to flank, but he just broke a tripwire. DRX are aware of this and are going to fight up into Vitality's face.
Flashback, the only one to patrol this flank. He swings through. What a timing for Flashback! Trex over the top, bounding forward, but now it's only him, and Hyunmin from main swings out. That round was a 3v5 that Mako flipped on its head.
Match point.
That main fight was crazy. Every single player from DRX coming down from the ground is stunned. Durka would have ruined all of them if not for Mako's teleport down there. We've seen them do this a couple of times. And finally, it matters in a big way.
No other team this tournament has reinvented themselves the way DRX has. 4 maps played, 4 new comps. And it's been all about Mako on this Omen, TPing in with Hyunmin on the Yoru. But it's another forward play for Vitality.
Yeah, big fight from them. And Flashback's gonna hear everything, so the call comes in from DRX. It's time to accelerate into the site. Dimensional Drift unlocked as well. DRX realize no one's here.
The ult catches out a couple. Hyunmin, does he want to go for this one? Les running in, but Hyunmin teleports back. Hunter's Fury for Trex. Can he find a connection? There's a tag, but no kill to be found.
There's a fast lurk coming in his mid as well. Keep your eyes on that as Mako takes down Durka.
And he's gonna stick around on the site for another moment before ulting back with
There's
the team.
the lurk.
Flashback! What a lurk! Freeing in the smoke! Kill safe! And now it's only 2 left alive. Vitality getting picked to pieces. And Kix, he'd have to deliver an impossible feat.
But Mako's up in his heaven. Ulted back into spawn. I mean, DRX. What a half.
They lost the bonus round to start the second half. They looked out of this. But DRX, they rally back. The series is 1-1, and your first team to the playoffs will be found out on map number 3.
Straight up madness, you know how we roll.